So here we go. Amplitude. Anyone have any idea what we mean by amplitude? Anyone ready? Here we go.
How long until it reaches its peak?
Yes. Yes. Interesting words though. How long to get to its peak?
Well, where its peak and troughs is.
Yeah. So how far up and how far down? So if I had something here going like this, let's say that's 30 centimetres. If I did this and I went silly, up 30, back down, down 30, back up 30, back down. How far up and down is it actually going? 30 and 30. So altogether, it's going up and down 30. But altogether, how far from the bottom to the top? 60. So amplitude's from the middle to the top. Okay? Middle to the top. By the way, I can talk about where we do it, not right now. So that was happening to the 30. So by the way, if that was my graph, I've got a sine graph, and I can multiply it by 30. What does the 30 do to it? Makes it 30 times taller. Go back to what we did yesterday. The opposites are the outsides are vertical. Is 30 on the outside or is 30 on the inside? On the outside. So outsides do vertical and outsides do what we expect. If I said, how much money you got on you, and you said, do you have any money on you?
Not on me, I've got it on my card.
On your card? Oh, do you know how much is on your card?
Should be $2.50 at the moment.
$2.50?
200.
Ah, 250. So if I said I multiplied it by 30, you'd be going, woohoo! I got 30 times as much money. Is it any different to this? If I multiply it by 30, instead of going up a little bit, it's going to go up to 30. So by the way, how often do I draw graphs like that? It happens sometimes. By the way, questions you might get them like that. What if I had a 5 sine x? Ready? Watch me draw it. What's its amplitude? 5. So what's a sine graph do? Starts and goes up, comes back down, comes back up. X was just an x, so that's 360. So instead of going up and down to 1, what do? Goes up and down to 5. Trouble is when I draw it like that, it's not to the same scale, is it? Because over here I have it going to 1. So I feel like making a mess on here and going up to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And go up to there, down to there, down to there, and up to there. Would you expect that? If you multiply it by 5, it just becomes 5 times? But it's not just 5 times taller that way, it's also 5 times taller downwards. So that's what we talk about dilation by a factor of 2. So what's the two numbers then? What did I do this to you? If I went y equals 2 sine of 3x. Number 1, we say sketch it, Ben. We say sketch it, but before you sketch it, it'll say what's the amplitude, and the amplitude is that number there, 2. What's its period? What would the period normally be for a sine? 360. By the rule, what's that number? We divide it by 3 and you get 120. Are you able to graph it now? Well, it's graphic, guys, stop that. Go across here. How far up and down does it go? It goes up to 2 and down to 2. Where does the sine start? There. Now, normally it would take, how far to repeat? 360. This one's only going to take 120 to repeat. The whole cycle. So it's halfway, 60. Where's a quarter way or half or a half? 30. And what's that one there? Counting in lots of 30 says 90. So this is going to go all the way up to 2. Up to 2. Oops, I messed it up. What did I do wrong? I'm drawing backwards. I have to get to there. Up to there for 30 degrees, down to there for 30 degrees, down to there. Now I'm making it look a little bit too much like it's a parabola almost. But in terms of details, there's your graph done. There's your x-axis and there's your y-axis. We've graphed that graph from where? 0 to 120. So if they say to graph it to 360, you got to keep going. You okay? Amplitude. So we've got basically all we're saying at the moment, all we're talking about right now, is a dilation on the outside and a dilation on the inside and draw the graph. Cos graph doesn't start at 0, it starts up here. So cos graph would start there, go down, go up, and that's the end of the period. Normally would be 360. What's the period for this one? It would be 360, but we divide it by 2. So that becomes 180. Normally goes up and down to 1, but this one's going to go up and down to 4 and minus 4. So this has got an amplitude of 4. So put a 4 there, put a minus 4 there, and it goes down.